If you could describe UTRGV baseball in 3 words, what are we looking at?
Tough, gritty, and like to fight you. They're gonna fight you. That's what people say about us in the conference when we came into Southland. They said, "Oh, baby, you better get ready to fight because they're gonna fight you." We have a little bit of pride in that.
Speaking of coming into the Southland Conference, I know that we were the new kids on the block.
Yeah.
What does the picture look like today?
Well, I mean, they know who we are, and they know we're a big power school, which I don't think they knew that before.
Yeah.
Without football ever happening, football's done so much for everybody. But I think our conference is like, this is 35,000 students. We're the biggest school for sure, and I think we have the best facilities. So now everybody knows in all sports we're coming for you, and we're going to have a great athletic program across the board, all 16 sports.
I think you mentioned it right now. You said the word gritty, but I've heard some players say it. You said it several times. So what's your definition of blue collar, man?
Well, blue collar is what they're always funny because I drive a Range Rover now. So the old players coming for alumni again, they say, Matlock, you are not blue collar. They get so confused on what blue collar is. Yeah. Blue collar is about working with your hands and being out there in the heat, just grinding through it. And that's what baseball is, like Armani's process. Those guys are out there, and it's hot in the fall, and they're out there grinding it out. And people always think it's how what you wear. It has nothing to do with that. It's about really working hard, 1,000 ground balls in a week, 1,000 swings in a week. We're going to take more swings. We're going to play more baseball than everybody in the country. That's kind of our mindset. We play 52 innings of group rotation in 1 hour. Wow. Nobody does that. And we got to do that. We got to outdo everybody with the blue-collar approach. We're going to work with our hands and work. It's nothing to do. It's not what car you drive, because Armani's car in the parking lot's a lot nicer than mine. You can write that down.
Well, he hit 389. I don't think you hit 389 last season, did you?
No doubt.
All right. Aside from wins and losses, what are you trying to build here at UTRGV? Is it a culture? Is it a mindset?
We're trying to build championships, trying to put a championship on the wall every year. This thing is built about championships, and we got to get into a regional because the regional's been dead since '86 here. Now the game has changed in college baseball. It's hard. It's way different, but you don't make excuses for that. You got to go try to get this program back in the postseason. It's been 40 years. That's a big drought, and when you're trying to change something that's been a drought that long, you better get after it and do everything right, because you're not going to be able to change it. And it's hard. We were the last team out last year. You can say what you want to say. Southeast Louisiana AD was on the committee for our area, and he made sure we weren't on the TV show last team out. I think we were like 5th or 6th, but we did the numbers. Their strength of schedule was 270, ours was 60, and we tied them in the conference, race. We played a way harder schedule. So, we know where we laid, but, it was kind of frustrating when the SLU AD kind of did some things to us there. It was frustrating, but we didn't do what we should have done. We lost a 1-1 game at Corpus. They're a 270 RPI. We took the series, but we didn't sweep. And then we let Incarnate Word come in here and beat us at home, which really popped us. And if those games wouldn't have happened, then we would have got in. And It's our fault, but we were so close to getting an at-large, and that's what you try to do. You try to get an at-large. Winning a tournament at the end is really hard to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, now that the fans got a taste of it, and they because they weren't understanding. Yeah. I think that the fans didn't understand what was at stake, the RPIs and how you get in, and the at-large bids, and slowly the fans now get it. They're understanding what's going on now. Do we need to just win outright? Or is it something that this year's schedule also favors UTRGV?
That's the reason we play the schedule we play, is to get an at-large. When I got here, they were probably playing a 240, 260 strength of schedule. That's not going to help you.
Yeah.
Now, you can play a great schedule, but you got to win. You can't just play a good schedule. You have to win. If you're on the road and you win, you get 1.5. If you're at home and win, you get 1. So with us only having 22 home games, I guess you guys have kind of noticed we're on the road.
Yeah.
And that's how you get RPI. Going into Lafayette, Rice, Texas, all the big boys. And it's going to be really hard, but I would rather lose trying to get an at-large because you can still control the conference situation. Yeah. So if you don't play a really hard schedule, you're not trying to get an at-large. And that's what made me mad. I think about Southeast Louisiana and even Lamar. Those guys had 270 strengths of schedule, and people are talking about them maybe getting in because nobody knows the RPI. So,
yeah.
But we're shooting for an RPI. There's no way around it. We wouldn't play who we played. If we wanted to win a lot of games, oh, yeah, we could do that. But that's not what we're here for. We want to play the best teams in the country, and that's what we're trying to do. And then hopefully Rice is better, Texas State's better, because, they weren't very good last year. Lafayette wasn't very good, and they're number 2 in the nation the year before. So we kind of got a bad break on some wins that the teams end up not being as good as they usually are.
Yeah. They were just big names that you guys beat. Right.
Nothing. With that being said, I mean, you keep talking about championships. You mentioned earlier that the point of this is to bring championships to UTRGV. With that being said, like, how do you balance as a coach? I mean, as a coach, I'm sure you want to make team players better. You want to develop them. But how do you balance developing a player and then just going after wins?
It's not hard because the fall, with college baseball, the fall is all development. And then really the early spring's about development. And then you got your season. Development is tied into live at-bats and live games too, but the development piece is so long in the fall. You can get a guy that maybe doesn't do a good job on a backhand deep in the hole, a shortstop, but you can just drill, and get him better. And then you bring in the strength and conditioning and nutrition, and they all change their bodies. Okay. And they get so much stronger, and they hit the ball so much harder and throw the ball so much harder. So the development piece of strength conditioning, nutrition, teaching kids how to eat, sleep, and then, of course, just beating the crap out of them in the heat in South Texas. Yeah. It doesn't hurt.
Well, that's when you have them already on the team.
That's right.
Let's go backwards a little bit and think about that. Or let me ask you this: how hard is it with the whole transfer portal and all this stuff, and to get them here?
I think it's gotten easier because of the video stuff that's out there about our games. People are like, wow, what's going on down there? And just like Sergio, he'll start Friday night against Kansas. He was at McNeese. He played here. He's like, he knew some of our guys. He said, hey, guys, I'm getting on the portal. Is there any way I could come there? We didn't even have to work to get him. Yeah. Now, then UTSA and Texas State got him with a lot of money, so we had to fight. I mean, we got lucky to get him. But our environment is really being big towards the recruiting piece because kids got, I want to play in front of that all the time. Wow. Some of those schools play in front of 50 to 100 people in our conference.
Yeah.
So it's a good piece for us in recruiting is our attendance.
Do you let your players play with high emotion? I know there's like unwritten rules of baseball where you can't bat flip and you can't yell at the opposing pitcher. Like, where do you draw that line with your players?
We're pretty loose. I mean, we're going to let them play. Now, we're not going to get crazy, but we're going to stay out of their way. I'm not going to say we're not going to bat flip. If a guy gets after it in a big moment and his emotions take over, he's going to get a little slap on the wrist and then told, "Hey man, great job." Our dugout's electric. We won't be disrespectful to umpires and across the dugout. But like Corpus's rivalry's getting really wild right now. They won't shut their mouths. They're running their mouths, and so when that happens, we'll say sick them and we'll let our guys go. But it's not something that we do a lot. No. If you disrespect us, we're gonna go ahead and come after you, and it usually is a bad situation for them. Every time it happens, and when we were in the WAC, all the coaches said, "Coach, we're just so scared of you guys. Why are you scared of us? We're nice." And I was like, I don't understand why you guys all say that. We're one of the nicest teams in the conference. And they're like, I don't know, you just look scary over there. Because we have guys with long hairs and some tattoos, I guess. I mean, but we take a lot of pride in respecting the game, though, and our guys do a good job of not getting too crazy. But we'll have some situations where those guys will do some stuff that you're in your back of your mind. I didn't really like that, but he don't do it a lot, and he kind of it was a big moment, and he let his emotions get him. I'm not going to get crazy with him.
Yeah. What is the coolest way as a head coach to get ejected?
I mean, if you could go out and kick dirt on the guy, that's huge. I mean, that's always a famous thing that happens. But as you know, I don't say a lot. I don't do a lot. I need to stay out of the way and let the guys play. And I probably sometimes say too much about the strike zone, and then it shrinks. So you got to be careful. Yeah. Those guys are human, and they get their feelings hurt. And then all of a sudden you throw one down the middle and they call it a ball and look at you. So you got to stay out of the kids' way, let them play, But if I want to I wouldn't mind getting kicked out and going to Lane Lord's deck and watching watching about 4 or 5 innings. Before I leave, I'd really like to watch about 4 or 5 innings from out there with a cold beer in my hand. Since I built those dang things and I've never got to watch a game from out there, I'd like to go out to the plate meeting after a bad Saturday umpire. I like to go out to the plate meeting and go, hey, you were terrible, and get kicked out during the plate meeting, and then I'd be gone all 9.
Yeah.
There it is.
I know earlier you mentioned that you look at the top 250 and you kind of go aggressively after those guys, and again, I'm not real in tune with the whole baseball. I know it happens more in the majors. I saw Moneyball and all that. Do you all use that analytic stuff, or you tap old school and then basically just watch these guys on film and stuff?
We're pretty old school. The analytics are starting to come in with TrackMan in our stadium, and you can tell some guys. We got a kid, Evan Janner, in and out of the lineup last year. The guy is just a bull now. He's gotten so big, so strong, so fast, and he hits balls so hard, and then he'll swing and miss. But you'll pay attention, like he had a big home run he almost went over the second fence Sunday, and he had been struggling. But you pay attention to some of those things, because if guys hit the ball that hard, they find holes because they're going so fast they can't get them. But we got a lot of old school in us. I mean, I've been doing this 40 years, but our young coaches have done a good job of putting some of that stuff into our program, and I kind of stay away from it, to be honest with you. I just want to see who's tough enough to go get it done when it matters.
Go ahead.
No, you're good.
See, it seems that the attraction is also from a lot of the Valley kids that left to go play JUCO and are coming back. They're hungry to play for UTRGV. Is that something that is part of the plan, or is that something that?
Oh, for sure. We talk about it all the time. Do not let a great player get out of the Valley. Do not. Recruiting coaches know that. Do not. If he does sign with Texas Tech, Baylor, whatever, as long as we've offered him and we've had a visit with him, even if it's unofficial, then if it happens, it happens. But don't you dare. I don't want to look up and be like, so-and-so from Los Fresnos is going to the University of Houston. I'm like, wait. Did we get him on campus? And I'll be mad. And these guys, they won't let them. They're in the Valley. They know every player in the Valley, freshman through, and they won't let them get out. But having homegrown talent makes it easier to win, because that's our culture. That's the city's culture, is who we are. We bought into the city, and it's helped us. We need more, to be honest, and we've been real fortunate, because when I first got here, all the good players were gone. I tried to bring back Sol Garza. He ended up being at LSU and getting drafted. He was already signed with Rob at Howard, and I called his dad. His dad's an alumni. I was like, dude, hey, man, you ain't going to West Texas. You're staying home. And he's like, nah. And I couldn't get him to stay.
Wow.
And he went and had such a great year. LSU stole him from Howard. But you got to hold local boys. They're a big part of our program. The ones we've had have been outstanding. And it's scary when you lose them, because you get frustrated. But when we do lose them, we treat them right. We tell them, hey, man, that's your decision. We're happy for you. We'll follow your career. And we've been real fortunate with Nico Rodriguez. You can tell the guys, now we got Diego Vasquez, our shortstop, come back. Julius Ramirez, junior college All-American, could have went a lot of places and come home. So we've got enough things going here now that they'll come home.
That's awesome.
When you're recruiting players, Coach, whether they're local or they're not from here, what's a character trait that is like a non-negotiable? Like you absolutely have to have this, or you can't have this?
We're kind of a coaching staff that we're kind of, I guess, kind of crazy to think we can change some of them. We'll see a guy with a really big arm that we've heard is really lazy and a bad kid off the field, but he's 94 with a big slider and he's got power stuff. The big guys may stay away from him because of his off-the-field behavior. We'll sign him, and we'll put our thumb on his throat. And has it not worked out? Sometimes, yeah, we've gotten beat on it before, but we've turned about 10 of them. And that's what we're here to do, to change a kid's life. We got a right-hander from El Paso. You guys are going to see him. It's probably going to be about 3 weeks from now. Steven Sepulveda went to Baylor. We fought to get him, and he chose Baylor. Then he goes to Tech, and off the portal, we missed him again. And then he's here. He's sidearm, 94, 95. Hasn't really done what he's capable of doing in college baseball. And he's a little turd. But I've watched him grow up from August till now, and it's unbelievable how professional he is on the field. Armani probably knows what he does off the field, but he's done a lot. Man, he comes to the ballpark ready to go. He had a shoulder injury, but he's coming back. He looks like he's going to be ready in about 2 or 3 weeks to get on the mound, so we're excited about him. But you got to change him. We can't get that frontline guy with that. If he's got everything perfect, we're going to lose him.
Yeah.
So we take chances on some guys.
All right, very cool. All right, before we close out here, I got some rapid fire for you. Same way we did with Armani. First thing that comes to your mind, you answer. All right.
I'll be wrong.
All right. All right. Have you ever cried during a baseball game?
No.
How many wins do we need for an at-large bid?
You can't do wins. It's impossible. You got to do who you beat.
Okay. How do you feel about the shift?
I don't mind it.
Day or night game?
I love night.
Metal or wood bats?
I like wood, but been in metal my whole life, but I love the sound of wood.
All right. Favorite baseball movie?
Moneyball.
Ooh, nice. How do you feel about a pitch clock?
I hate it. I hate all the clocks in baseball. There's no time in baseball.
All right, last one here, bonus one. How many wins do you have as a head coach for UTRGV?
Would have no clue. Don't care.
228.
228?
Yeah.
That's pretty weak for a 58-year-old. But it's fine. I'll take it. But that's the last thing I look at is wins.
All right, Coach. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Appreciate you, man.
V's up.